Another day, another bankroll builder cashes. Can we do it again today? Because you guys know it's a college basketball slate. So what does that mean? I do have another money line parlay on the way for you guys. Stay till the end of the video, and I've got you guys. This is the free three. Let's dive into this college basketball slate. What's up, guys? It's your boy Noble Living back with another DYF Bets video. I'm bringing down my favorite picks and plays of the day. I will just try to get to the bag together and make that money. Yesterday, it wasn't like the best day, but it wasn't the worst day. We learned actually a lot of things yesterday in college basketball. I'm going to talk about a little bit of it today because I think it's actually going to help us in our handicapping as we break down this card on this Wednesday. But one of the things that really I'm excited about is how consistently we've been hitting our bankroll builder. Right now, you guys know there's like the ladder challenge. Everybody's trying to do it like from $10 to $10,000. You see calling our shot, and the key to that is literally just taking a plus $100 bet or plus 100 odds bet, I should say, and doubling it every day for 10 days, right? Obviously, we haven't really done that here on the channel. We've tried it in other times. I think we've gotten all the way up to day 9 here. But one of the things that the bankroll builder does is even if we don't hit every day, we've hit probably on like a 65-70% rate, 75% hit rate on those money line parlays. So it's not always sweet, it's not always cute. And even days like yesterday where we had to sweat out Marquette, our heaviest juiced leg at minus 1,000, and went to overtime against DePaul. Sometimes it's gonna be like that, right? But when it pays off, when you're still able to cash your bet, you can sit back and just like relax, like we did on Sunday when we took the Eagles, the Bills, and then Michigan at like minus 1,000, UTC at minus 1,000. I know it's not always pretty, but those 4 teams at plus 112, what plus 110, plus 115, you put $500 on that, you put $100 on it, you put $1,000 on it, boom, you can double your money and you can move on. So that's what we were able to do yesterday. Officially here on the channel, we went 2 for 2. We did add a few extra plays after we left when we went on stream on Twitch. So I'm going to show you a little bit real quickly how we did yesterday. A quick recap before we break down today's games. So yesterday, like I mentioned, our bankroll builder of the day, plus 108 odds. VCU, Louisville, Marquette, St. John's. This St. John's game was a sweat. The Marquette game was a sweat. You can see it went into overtime, but it cashed. But sometimes you're going to be on the wrong side. Like when we added Alabama to the lay, guess what? They choked and folded against Ole Miss. But one of the reasons why I left Alabama out of the original bankroll builder was for that same exact reason, that Ole Miss has a really good defense, and I thought they might beat Alabama. If there was a chance of any heavy favorite losing, it was going to be them. So 10.5 point favorites, hey, it happens. We took Mississippi State on the spread. That was a chalk bet. I added Evan Mobley a little bit later on stream. I added an NBA a little bit later on stream. We added this late night. You say Florida lost, and then we also took Arkansas here yesterday, and then we took Iowa. So if you look at our overall schedule, or our overall record, I should say, for the season, 31-23, not too shabby, but yesterday could have been a little bit better because we lost on Arkansas, because we lost on Mississippi State. But like I said, the over late night in Iowa, and then the bankroll builder officially, because I gave out 4 plays on the channel yesterday. All the additional plays that we add are coming from stream. So if you guys want to join us on stream on Twitch after we get done with the live recording, be my guest. We would love to have you. So let's dive into the board for today. If you have not smashed that subscribe button, please do so. And I haven't done this in a while. If you are watching the show, even if you're not watching it live, thank you for tapping in. Please like, please subscribe, but also comment 30 below. Just comment 30 below. What this does is it helps the algorithm to get out to more people. But what it also does is if we sweep the board, if we have a great day, I'm going to Venmo somebody $30. So it's just free money for you. Literally just type 30. You're watching it. Drop a thumbs up for me. And we can also, get you paid because we've been making money here on the channel. It's a good start to the year. Let's keep the momentum going. And let's dive into this college basketball slate for this Wednesday. So there's a lot of games on today that it could go either way. So I'm going to really tread a little bit lightly. The lines to me are very sharp in today's slate. As I scroll through here, you see we're getting 8.5 points on Vanderbilt. You kind of have to play South Carolina in this situation. I don't know. Vanderbilt's a great team, but we haven't really seen too much. South Carolina needs to win here, right? We see the Stanford Wake Forest game here. There's a few games that we want to talk about, and the first one that I want to go to is between the Houston Cougars and the West Virginia Mountaineers. Now, Houston has been a team that we've been taking so this season. Obviously, Houston's 12-3, same thing as West Virginia. Houston's a great program. We see we have a very big spread here at 17.5 with a very low total of 124. Nothing that's irregular for Houston teams or Houston games. And because they have such low totals, it's not surprising to see Houston has gone over in actually more games than you might think because we have such a low total of 124. They've gone over 7 of the 8 games. Meanwhile, West Virginia has been more of an under team this year, 5-9 to the under. Well, this is the point that really grabs my attention, is West Virginia has been more of an under team than they've been an over team. Now they're facing a team like Houston that's just naturally an under team in general. And then when you look at West Virginia's offenses and some of their recent game logs, only 78 points against Colorado. That game went over. It was a low total. That was on the road. But let's look here. 56 points against Arizona, 69 points against a very weak OK State team, 62 points against a Kansas defense that's great, but it's not Houston defense, 67 points, right? I don't even know what MHU and Mercyhurst Lakers, like whatever Mercyhurst Lakers are. So what am I telling you? West Virginia, they're not that strong offensively. If we pull up KenPom here real quickly and we take a look at them, you can see they're 76 in offensive efficiency, 310 in pace. Their key to their team is their defense, 21st in defensive efficiency, right? They're not even top 150 in 2-point percentage or 3-point percentage. So what do I think? Scoring is going to be tough to come by for this West Virginia team. It's tough to lay such a large spread with Houston. You can see KenPom has this as a 14-point win for them. But this number right here, 54, is the number that I'm going to take a look at. And I'm going to take West Virginia's team total under 52.5 minus 110 odds. Now, I know it is a low number. I know 52 is not that number. But if we can get a Houston team to under 50 points or like between 50 and 60, I'll take it. We took this, who did Houston play in the last game that we took this on? We took this against TCU. It was under 54.5 in that game, and you can see they only gave up 46 points. Houston's defense at home is legit. Number 1 in defensive efficiency. Number 1 in effective field goal percentage. Number 1 in 2-point percentage. Number 1 in block percentage. Number 13th in turnovers. Like, this defense is legit, and they play slow too. Both teams play slow. So I'm expecting a very low scoring game. I don't want to touch the total just in case Houston be able to get, you can see here, 87 points. It's going to hurt if they give up 57 points because we're going to lose. But I like their chances at home. You've seen them give up less points, 42 points, 49 points, 51 points, 47 points on the road. So we've seen this Houston defense been able to play well. Under 52.5 is the first best bet of the day. West Virginia's team total. Let's lock it in on Action Network. If you're not following us on Action Network, make sure you guys do so you can stay up to date on all the latest picks and even if you missed the live show. So we're tracking that right there. First best bet of the day. Second best bet of the day is we're going to take a look here at another total. I know some people don't like to take unders, but unders sometimes pay. Why? Because they understand that the natural instinct of individuals is to take the over. Most of us are inclined to take the over on a player prop, over on a total. And because of that, most times if this is a theory I've been testing out, I've been taking like an under every single day because the way I look at it is if the house always wins, the majority of people take overs, that means that the money must be on the under. That's the way I'm thinking, right? So I'm looking for some of the unders when a lot of people are loving the overs. And one of the games that I found, or one of the teams that have really been an under team this season that I've been smashing, this is more of a system spot, we're going to go to the Cincinnati-Colorado game. And Cincinnati on the year is 10-5, meanwhile Colorado's 9-6. We have a very tight line here in between the threes. So basically a pick 'em. Each team is really expected, to be a close affair. Cincinnati is favored, and I think that is correct because they are the better team. We're getting a little bit of value on Cincinnati. If you look at some of their recent game logs, they've struggled recently. I think they've lost 4 games in a row. You can see they started off conference 0-4. So they're in a situation now where they need to win. Even though they're on the road against Colorado, it is a road game. But again, they need to win. Well, what am I looking at here? I'm looking at the total. It opened up at 133.5. It hasn't really moved significantly, so that means there's not a whole lot of people on this, which I love. We're at 134 right now, but if we scroll down here to some of the recent game logs, let's look at the over-under history for Cincinnati. They are 2-13 to the year to the under. I told you this is a system play. Majority of the games have been at home, but that's because a lot of the non-conference games they play are at home. But on the road, 0-5 to the under. Guess where they are today? On the road. As a favorite, which they are today, guess what they are? 2-11 to the under. Meanwhile, Colorado, they are an over team. Yes, 6-4 to the over. But when you dive into the numbers a little bit deeper, some of the recent game logs for Colorado, they went over against West Virginia, okay, at home, but then they went under against UCF on the road. They went under against Arizona State. They went under against Bellarmine at home, right? So they've been under in 3 of the last 5 games. So it's not a team that's just like known for being over. So typically, when you play in Colorado, you would lean towards the over. You get a little bit of like a higher number, kind of like the Nuggets, because of the altitude, faster pace of play, things of that nature. But when you're playing a team like Cincinnati that's gone under, not just in 5 straight games. Let's go to team rankings real quickly. Look at the under numbers. Under. So they've literally gone under in 7 straight games. And like I said, 2 of whatever, how they played 15 games, they've only gone over in 2 of the 15 games. So that's 13 unders that we're getting. And we're used to low totals, 136, 134, 138. Now we have a conference game in a must-win situation. You're 309 in the tempo, 9th in defensive efficiency against a Colorado team that's not really that fast, 166th in tempo, 62nd defensively, so they're strong defensively. And then they turn over the ball a lot on offense, which should limit possessions, get Cincinnati to slow the ball down even more. KenPom has the 60-60-64. If my math is correct, that puts us at 130. So we're getting 4 points of value right here. Second best bet, under 134.5 between Colorado and Cincinnati, minus 110 odds. We're locking this one in. I'm gonna get it. I would pay for the juice, like to get it up to like minus 115 to get it, like to pay for the hook, but we'll just lock it in for a unit at 134. This is a system play here, man. This is a system play on the 134. What's up, Matt? How you doing, man? Great. I'm glad to see. Let's see what he said. Good morning. No, appreciate the USC call over yesterday. Cash the money line over. Slip. Let's go, man. Great cash in, Matt. We love a late night winner. We love a late night winner, man. Good to see it. Good to see it, man. Today we got 2 unders on the board so far. I know it's not popular, but you know what? If it cashes, it doesn't matter. So we're going with 2 unders right now, and then we're locking in our last best bet of the day here, and then we're gonna do a quick bankroll builder. I know you guys want to know Kansas, Iowa State. Who are we taking? Guys, this is going to be an interesting one. Let's just go straight to KenPom. He has Iowa State winning this game, and rightfully so, because Iowa State's won 11 games in a row. They have one of the longest win streaks in the entire country. They're at home. They come off of a tough overtime loss to Texas Tech. But what did we learn yesterday? Florida came off of a very key win on the road, beating the #1 team in the country, right? And then they lose yesterday. Who else lost yesterday after a big win that they had the game before? There were a few situational spots. We had Florida who lost, and after coming off of a big win, there was another team that there was another situational spot yesterday that came to me. Let me see here. Well, no, it wasn't. New Mexico on the road. They dropped the ball. New Mexico, UCF. Beating Arizona State, right? These are all teams that are having key wins. Kansas is not bad. They're not bad. They've won 3 games in conference. Granted, these are the weaker teams in conference, but they've beaten Duke. They've beaten Michigan State. Iowa State, I like them. I really do. This is a defensive-minded game. So you got Kansas with 4th in defensive efficiency. We've got Iowa State in 10th in defensive efficiency. Iowa State, they do have a very strong offense, which I think could help them get over the hump today. But I think this is just too many points for a Kansas team that's been in this situation too many times. We're taking Kansas plus 6.5. Bill Self, this is the key letdown spot for Iowa State. You go on the road. You have a hard-fought win in Texas Tech where you really should have lost that game. Kudos to you. Find a way to pull it out in overtime. And now you come back home against one of the top teams in conference. You're excited. It's going to be a sold-out arena. This is Iowa's Super Bowl in a way, right? Iowa State, when they don't play Iowa at home, the next biggest game for them is Kansas. The arena is sold out. Toughest seat to get in town. But I think this is the spot that Bill Self thrives on. This is what he's made his career on. And yes, we've seen Kansas lose, but I like how battle-tested they are here. They've just picked up a road win against Cincinnati, not even a close one. They've been able to play on the road against Missouri, against Creighton, picking up a neutral floor win against Duke. And seeing how Duke is playing right now, that could tell you the potential of this Kansas team. Yes, Hunter Dickinson is one of those guys that, it's hit or miss. If he's going to be in foul trouble, if he's not hitting his jump hook, then the offense goes. We're going to need some offense from Dwayne Harris, right? We know what comes with this Kansas team. But 6.5 points, that's a lot of points for a team that defensively is just as strong. Look at this, 351st in the average possession length on defense. What does that mean? That means they make you hold the ball. That makes you pass the ball around, which Iowa State likes to do anyway, which means less possessions. Less possessions should mean a tighter game. 6.5 point spread, that's a little bit too many points here. I think this is going to be coming down to the final buzzer. I'm not saying that Iowa State loses. I would sprinkle a little bit on Kansas on the money line, but I'm taking Kansas plus 6.5 here for 1 unit down. So the free three for today, my friends, let's go through it real quickly. We're going to go West Virginia team total under 52.5. We've got Colorado and Cincinnati under 134.5. And then we've got Kansas plus 6.5 minus 115. Now for our last best bet of the day, you guys know what time it is. It is time for our bankroll builder. We've been cashing on these consistently. It's simple. We're just going to go for a few money line legs. Let's see what teams will just handle their business, get it done, and let's move on. So teams that I'm liking today to do our bankroll builder. The first up is Wake Forest against Stanford. We have a pretty high spread at 7.5 here in favor of Wake Forest. I like it at home for them, minus 320 odds. We're not going to break down every game too much, but basically Stanford, when they have to travel to the East Coast, they lose. They traveled to the East Coast against Clemson. They lost. Traveled on the road against Pittsburgh. They lost. Yes, they picked up 2 conference wins against Virginia Tech and Virginia, but they were both home wins, and both of those teams are probably bottom barrel here in terms of ACC caliber play. Meanwhile, Wake Forest, they're 12-4 on the year, 4-1 in conference. They haven't played the toughest of conference schedules. They're really Syracuse, NC State, and Miami, but I just don't like the travel spot for Stanford. 5-point win here for KenPom has it for Wake Forest. I'm taking them to get us started here. Second best bet of the day. I'm staying off of Vanderbilt, South Carolina, because like I said, that's one of those games where the road dog can win, in all honesty. I don't like to go for pick'ems or like this. I don't like to, because we're taking it as an individual side, we're going to stay off of it. A lot of mid-major stuff going on today. I didn't put this out as a best bet, but if you're here, if you want to take IPFW at minus 115 odds, I'm not opposed to that. I really like them against Wright State today. IPFW, this is really their conference to lose. You can add St. Bonaventure at minus 1,000. That's a lot of juice, though. But to go to our second leg, I'm scrolling. I'm staying off of Dayton right now. They're on the banned list. I just don't like Dayton right now. So for our second leg, we are going to go to the Bradley Indiana State game. Now, we took Bradley the other day against Drake, and they actually lost that game and lost us our bet. But I mentioned in that breakdown that this is Bradley's conference to lose. They are still the kings of the Missouri Valley. I know Drake right now has come out, shocked a lot of people. They're 4-2 in conference, but Bradley, they're 5-1 in conference. Their only loss was to Drake. And if you look at some of the preseason standings, like I mentioned, they are ranked number 1, and they're projected to finish at the top of the conference. So because of that, a game against Indiana State today at home, they need to handle business. KenPom has his 11-point win, number 3 in 3-point shooting. Don't overthink it. Bradley, very good program. All their losses are step-ups in caliber, 75, 71, 83. We're playing a 192 team. That is the second leg there. So 2 legs down. We've got Bradley. We've got Wake Forest. We're at minus 145. Let's get one more leg in there to get us to plus 1,000 here, or plus 100, excuse me. And we can go, I'm staying off of Tennessee. I'm staying off of SMU. You could take Drake if you want to, but I'm going to just go good old Purdue. That gets us a plus 118 odds for 1 unit down. So we got Purdue, we've got Wake Forest, and we've got Bradley. Now, Purdue is taking on Washington State today, and Purdue is not going to win every game in conference, but they're probably going to win the majority of the games that they have in conference. They're 5-1 in conference. Their loss came in their first true road game against Penn State. They've strung 5 wins in a row. Good caliber opponents like Nebraska, like Northwestern, all better than Washington. Washington's not that really good a team, and they know that they have to play Oregon here. I'm taking the money line because this is a classic look-ahead spot for Purdue from the standpoint standpoint of, hey, we're going to overlook Washington because we're thinking about Oregon. So if you want to stay off of this because of that on the money line, I'm not opposed to it just because of the game that's coming up next. It is like a sandwich spot. But for me, I like Purdue. I bought their head coach, Matt Painter. This is a team that their goals are national championships. Their goals are Final Fours. Their goals are conference championships in the tournament. Like, they're not, like, that's their goals. They know when they play teams like Washington, they need to handle business, and they should run the table in the Big Ten besides, step-up games like Michigan State, like Oregon in their next game. So if you want to stay off of Purdue just for that exact reason, I'm not opposed to it. It is our only road team here. So if you do want like a replacement leg for that, you could go Dayton. I'm not touching that, but you could go Utah State as well against UNLV. I think they're going to win that. But I'm officially, or you could do Drake, but I'm officially just going to take them. I think they're the better team. Purdue, Bradley, Wake Forest is our bankroll builder. So 4 best bets for today, guys. Here we go right here on the right side of the screen. Under 134 in Colorado, Cincinnati, I would do 134.5. West Virginia's team total under 52.5. Kansas plus 6.5. And then we've got our 3-team steam, our bankroll builder of the day, Wake Forest, Bradley, Purdue to tuck us in. All right, my friends. Those are 4 plays that we're taking on this Wednesday, the January the 15th card. I appreciate you guys for tapping in. Again, if you are in the chat, I appreciate y'all. We're going to be on stream. I'll probably be on in like 10 minutes or so on Twitch, just looking at a few more games, hanging out for a little bit. And then if you have any other plays, anything you want me to break down, let me know. Drop a comment of 30 below, and I'll make sure that if we sweep the board, I'll Venmo somebody $30. All right, my friends, get to that cheddar. As always, dictate your fate. I appreciate y'all for tapping in. It's your boy, Noble Living. Let's have a day, guys. And as always, let's get to that money. Later.